If you're an engineer or a scientist or a founder, and there's one meaningful thing that you've been trying to finish for longer than you'd like to admit out loud, then this post is for you. I'm doing a series of interviews as a case study of past clients, and I was just listening to them back, and a small clip just made me smile, so I wanted to share it with you. It's nothing crazy. It's about self-trust and action taking. Luke, in this video, he's an engineer, and a while back he built a 3D printer that prints in sugar, which is exactly the kind of weird, curious, ambitious, genuinely cool thing that people I work with tend to build. He designed it, sourced it, wired it, got it to something like 95% of the way done, and then it just stopped. And it stayed stopped for about, I think he said 4 years in the interview. It just sat in a corner of every apartment he moved into, and he would pack it up, move it, unpack it, set it back down in the corner of the new place, still 95% done and still not printing. The part that almost nobody sees from the outside is that somewhere in those 4 years, the printer stopped being an unfinished project and quietly turned into evidence, as it does with most people. In his own words, it became a cloud of like, you're a loser for not getting this thing done. So that every time he walked past it, some quiet voice in the back of his head added it to the case against him and who he was. The guy who almost finishes things, the guy who gets to 95% and quits until the printer wasn't really sitting in the corner anymore so much as it was sitting on his chest. He effectively started to build a running relationship with his own to-do list and unfinished projects that he called flat out an unhealthy relationship with my tasks, where every task became a tiny referendum on whether he was enough. And he was losing that war. So when we started working together, the obvious move for most would have been to just march straight into the printer, make the plan, break into steps, schedule the work blocks, grind it out. But we didn't do that because the printer wasn't actually his problem. The printer was a symptom of the problems. We walked through the 6 stages of iAlignment, which are clarify, prioritize, equip, implement, recenter, and then integrate, which helped him clarify his real priorities in life through his core values, equipped him with the tools he needed in order to move through the discomforts in his life that were weighing on him and affecting his output, not just on the printer, but obstacles with work and relationship and communication, things like that as well, such that he could start making more consistent, decisive, and focused actions on the priorities that mattered most and not the things that didn't, by filtering those things out and then supporting himself with the things that did. And as a consequence, his frame shifted back toward his original passion for the printer because he now had the energy for it. He had filtered things out that didn't matter and recentered and refocused his energy on the things that did. It was no longer a burden, but an opportunity to build and create and share and express, which is a fantastic reframe of a situation that previously was hindering him. And I'm sharing this with you because you probably have your own printer of some sort. Something that is 95% done in the corner, either on your laptop or in your room, that's quietly turning into evidence as it accumulates dust. And the reason it's stuck usually has less to do with the last 5% of the work than the relationship you've built with both the project, but also obstacles in your life along the way. Here's that clip.
The last 4 months, I've had multiple times where I've set like time blocks to work on this machine, and I've actually done it, and I've made tangible progress. So that's a huge indicator to me is like I actually do have the capability of sitting down for 15, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours on something that I find difficult, but also very fulfilling. And I've kind of taken that same thing to tasks on the house. I've made a lot of progress on the house in the last few months and made a lot of progress with work too. It's just kind of like a trusting that you can always sit down and do something for 15 minutes and it's going to give you clarity and some amount of momentum. Even if what you went in, you're going to get something out of it
Yeah.
instead of procrastinating on your phone for 2 hours. Giving me a lot of confidence, like a subtle confidence. Like I trust that I can do this thing now,
Yeah.
chunk by chunk.